What's going on, beautiful people? I hope you guys are doing excellent today. I am Carrington Brown, your relationship expert, and today I want to discuss with you guys the process of grieving. Now, when I say grieving in today's conversation, I'm not talking in terms of grieving the loss of a friend or grieving the death of a family member. I'm more so talking about grieving what could have been, grieving what should have been. The inspiration for this conversation is a result of a conversation I had with a client. We were just discussing some things, and she was being very honest, very open, very transparent. And as we were speaking, if you know me, you know I'm spirit-led in my conversations. And so as I'm speaking to her, the spirit just dropped in me that she needs to grieve. And so I was like, is that you, Jesus? And, I got confirmation. And so I said it to her, and she was like, wow, what do you mean by that? And so then he was like, through me, he said, you need to grieve the possibilities that could have been as a result of making a different decision in the past, right? I said, you need to grieve the fact that you were in this relationship for 10 years that you knew was not going to result in what you actually desire. You have to grieve the idea of what you could have done in those 10 years. You have to grieve the relationships you could have built, the decisions that you could have made, the actions that you could have taken, but you chose to stay in that relationship. I said you have to grieve the what could have been and what should have been, because if you don't, you allow yourself to be enslaved to what should have been or what could have been, when in actuality, if it was supposed to happen, it would have been. And even if it was supposed to happen, it didn't happen. God is still going to make things work out the way that it's supposed to. And so when we're in those situations where we realize and recognize that we've made decisions that have hindered or delayed us possibly getting or experiencing things that we actually desire beyond our current situation, our current status, our current state, it's very easy, right, to be stuck in that. And when you find yourself stuck in that, it opens the door for depression. But then when you find yourself focusing on what my future is going to look like as a result of this, it's going to create some anxiety. So in order for us to kill that, we have to be intentional about grieving the what could have been. And so what I want to do real quick is give you guys 3 steps for actually grieving the what could have been, right? So step number 1 is this. First, you have to give yourself permission to grieve. Right. A lot of times when it comes to grieving things or letting go or expressing yourself openly about painful or traumatic or sad situations, a lot of times as people, we try to be so hard as a result of society, culture, what we've been persuaded and how we're supposed to navigate it, that we void ourselves of we void ourselves of the opportunity of actually doing it and speaking about it and giving it away. And so as people, one thing we have to do when it comes to grieving when it comes to loss, we have to first give ourselves permission to grieve, because unless we give ourselves permission to grieve, then we won't do it. We'll continue to suppress and repress those feelings and emotions, which will continue to make navigating additional situations and circumstances more challenging and more difficult, right? So the first thing we have to do is give ourselves permission to grieve. Second thing we got to do is we have to openly express the feelings and emotions regarding the loss, right? So we have to openly express the feelings and emotions regarding the loss of the time, the loss of the relationship, the loss of the job, the loss of the career, the loss of the connection, the loss of the position, whatever the loss of the money. Whatever the loss was, we have to be intentional about expressing how we honestly, openly, and transparently feel about it. Hey, I'm pissed off that I was in this situation for 10 years. I'm mad at myself that I chose to make this financial decision when my spirit was telling me don't do it. I am upset at the fact that I did this, that I said this, that I didn't do this, that I did say this, right? Because sometimes that's the grief, right? Sometimes it's not a matter of I lost something. Sometimes it's a matter of I didn't do something I should have did. I saw a tweet a couple of months ago that said, I forgive myself for everything that I let slide. And for some of us, that's the thing that we need to grieve. Man, I should have never let that slide. Man, I should have charged them up. Man, I should have. Look, some of us, you know what I'm saying, before Jesus, right? Some of us are like, yo, I should have slid them. All right, I should have stole off on them on sight as a result of what they did. So some of us, we need to grieve what we believe we should have did, but didn't do. And so the third and final thing is this: we need to be intentional about connecting with people, places, and resources that give back into us. And now the reason why I said it is because when you're grieving and you're expressing yourself and you being transparent and you giving out and you giving away, it takes a lot of energy from you. And so you want to make sure that you're connecting with people that give back to you. You want to make sure that you're connecting with places that give back to you. You want to make sure that you're connecting with resources, with outlets, with vices, positive vices that are filling you back up after you giving away and giving out the feelings and emotions tied to whatever situation it is that you're actually grieving. All right. So whether you're grieving a job, a career, finances, a relationship, or actually an actual loss of somebody, first thing you got to do is, once again, you got to make sure you give yourself permission to grieve. Second thing you have to do is be open with expressing the feelings and emotions tied to the loss. And then lastly, you got to be intentional about connecting with people, places, and resources that serve in the area of investing back in you after that loss. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. If you don't already, follow me on all social media platforms. I'm at TheCarringtonBrown. If you haven't already, click the link in the description box below. Schedule a free call to holler at your boy with any questions, comments, concerns, issues, challenges, struggles you may be dealing with. And I look forward to speaking with you guys soon. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal day. Peace out.